Hello and welcome to Cover 2 TV. I'm Chris Pajak, that's Tom Jennings, and we're here to discuss week 15 of the NFL season. And if you didn't notice, Tom's just put some mad Jedi shit on him as well, because he does that every time. He brought that up last time, maybe a few weeks ago, who knows. It all moulds into one. Great week in the NFL, the game of the season, or as it was being billed, we've been talking about it for about 5 weeks now, was obviously going to be the Patriots at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everyone will know the result by now. The Patriots beat the Steelers by 27 points to 24. Geno, as a Patriots fan, you happy with that result?
I'm happy we won. I mean, I think we saw the two best in the AFC go against each other, and I think we also saw that the Steelers are the better team. But the Patriots, I
wasn't expecting you to say that.
Yeah, I think I have been quite open about it. I don't like the Patriots defense. If you've got any ability to scramble as a quarterback and extend the play, the front seven of the Patriots will not get to you, and you can extend. And then the Steelers were getting pass going through third downs like it was nothing. They were connecting on third down passes like it was nothing. Bryant had Gilmore on toast. The only part of the Patriots defense is good is the safeties. McCourtney and Chung are probably the most underrated safety duo in the league, but the front seven can't get no pass rush. Bell was playing quite well. And it was only the fact that I think one of the biggest factors was Antonio Brown going down. Yeah. So that he wasn't there to convert those vital third downs at the end of the game.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. And I wasn't expecting to. I was expecting to have a good 10-minute argument with you about why the Steelers are better than the Patriots. Now, obviously, results matter. It's a result business. The Patriots get the job done at the end of the day. We'll obviously come on to the catch, no catch thing later. Catch, by the way. No catch. No catch, I'm only kidding. We'll come on to that a little bit later on and stuff, but the Steelers, for me, I was talking last week to Steve about this. I love America's game, you know, the night before the Super Bowl, and you watch last year's one and the narrative of the storylines, and I always felt that this could be one of those games as well, whereby this defeat will be highlighted if the Steelers go on and win the Super Bowl as one of the reasons why, and it was the way in which they performed against the Patriots that got them there, because ultimately they get a chance to win the game, they don't win the game, whatever, but they now know, and they've shown that they've answered the biggest question for me about that Steelers defense is Tom Brady has shredded zone for so long with the Steelers, and they play more zone coverage than almost anybody in the league. Now, they changed it up massively and went man-to-man on the Patriots. And yes, the Patriots had their way towards the end, and you know, Gronkowski wasn't stopped all day. I think Davis gives up 158 yards to Gronkowski on the day and stuff. But the fact that the Steelers just did it and managed to get success everywhere else will give them heart for the next time that these two teams meet.
Yeah, and the thing with the Patriots is, even, you used to say going man for man wasn't a good idea against the Patriots because they have people who can beat the man. Are the Patriots right at the receiving core right now? The only person who can beat man-to-man coverage is Rob Gronkowski, because Brandon Cooks always has a safety over the top help. No one's going to let Brandon Cooks in one-on-one. So it's just Gronkowski, because Amendola doesn't beat what man-on-one well. There is no Chris Hogan. We're talking about Philip Dorsett, who, you know, let's face it, has basically been a bust since he's been in the league. Hasn't exactly, you know, he's playing with Tom Brady, hasn't shown a lot. There's a reason why they went up and signed Kenny Britt. I mean, Kenny Britt got released by the Browns for being a terrible wide receiver. So they don't have those matchups they like in man and man, and it's just two, Gronkowski or the running backs. So when you play man and man against the Patriots, you get the chance to get contested throws, and there's always a chance of a contested throw.
Well, that's it. I mean,
anything can happen.
For me, it's like, all right, well, Tom Brady's going to beat zone, so, well, who's the best player in the world? Tom Brady, pretty much. So make the other guys go and beat you, because Tom Brady will, and he will, and Rob Gronkowski will, generally speaking, beat you in man-to-man as well, but make the other guys go and do it, because they're not Tom Brady. You know, it might be 50-50 whether they beat you, but so what? Brady's going to beat you 100% of the time, like, so you know you may as well just, but it's great to see the Steelers change it up, go man-to-man and get some success, because they've needed that, and this is a Steelers side who had 2 7-minute plus drives in this game. They controlled the ball really, really well. Bell, obviously brilliant. Smith-Schuster, who's having a brilliant year so far. Bryant was good as well. So many of this Steelers defense, Steelers offense stepped up. But for me, the key matchup, and the one that made sure that the Patriots won, was, I mentioned them before, Davis against Gronkowski. I mean, all game he was matched up on him. and all game he got shredded.
He got, you know, Gronkowski just abused him, because Gronkowski is the greatest tight end we've ever seen. It's not even a question. I don't know why people try and bring up other people like Kelsey or whatever, or anyone back like Sharp or even Ozzie Newsome. They can't do what Gronkowski can do. No one can run block as well as Gronkowski and then just absolutely dominate the team. He's too big, he's too strong. He's quick, he's not as fast as he used to be, but he's still quick enough to just run past you and just shove it off him. You know, there's times when someone tried to bump and run him, and it was just an arm away, and the guy just went flying, and Gronk caught it. And he also got one of the best. His ability to catch the ball is incredible. Like, his ability to actually catch it from those where Brady likes to throw it low so that you don't, so it can't be picked, and you see him picking it off the ground.
His hands are so big, he makes the catches look easy almost, doesn't he?
Again, he's a phenomenon. That's the only
He really is. Well, 9 receptions, 168 yards, 31 long on the day. I mean, it was just brilliant from Gronkowski. Tom Brady had a good game, although he was intercepted for the first time since
2005 against the Steelers.
Wow.
But that's a couple of interceptions in the last few weeks, because the Patriots offensive line's not playing well, especially Joe Tooney. Joe Tooney is getting beat consistently at the left guard position, which means Brady's getting pressure up the middle. Brady can't get away from pressure up the middle. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not one. He
slides. He doesn't.
He can slide left and right, and that's how you avoid pressure bites that come through the tackles. But if your guard, centre, or other guard can't protect him, and it's been Joe Tooney especially who's getting beat consistently, it's becoming a problem for the Patriots, and that's why we've seen Tom Brady throw more interceptions.
Yeah. So we're probably, right now it looks like the Patriots are going to get home field advantage through the playoffs. Still not all decided yet, but it looks highly likely that that's going to be the case. How would you fear the Steelers if you were to face them?
I still fear them, because again, I watched this game and they were the better team. It was only the fourth quarter where the Patriots took over, put up 2 really good drives and won the game, and then a poor Big Ben decision at the end. We're obviously going to go into that in a minute, but I still fear the Steelers much more than they used to. Much, because they've just shown they can do man-to-man, and pretty much outside of Gronkowski, we don't have an answer for it. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll come on to the no catch. We'll just call it that straight off the bat. You obviously feel very strongly that that's the case. I think 99% of the NFL watching public understand why that's not a catch.
Yeah.
For me, and I don't know whether you agree, the rule potentially needs looking at, but it's always needed looking at. But by the rule book, that is not a catch.
By the rule book, he clearly drops that. It's not an argument. He clearly, I see people going, oh, you can't see his right hand's under the ball. You can see the ball bouncing, mate. He clearly drops it. And I think one of the problems we had is Tony Romo in commentary, who's been brilliant all season. He didn't pick up on why they were watching it till really late, when I think...
Well, it was the other commentators that picked up on it.
I'm assuming that's probably a producer in their ears going, you know, he never completed the process to the ground, and then they've suddenly realised. I think the problem with the rule is, in that situation, we all feel like he should be considered a runner, because he's got complete control of the ball, and then he's reached over the plane, which if you're a runner, that counts as a touchdown. Because it's a catch, you've got to keep control the whole time going to the floor, and he clearly doesn't. So I think a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of people who are going, oh, it's Patriots again. I've seen Chris Wessling just go, like someone said to him, if that was Gronkowski, that'd be a catch, and Chris Wessling just killed him off. And nah, Gronkowski's had 2 TDs in the season. That'd have been more touchdowns than that. But I think the problem we have is it's a stupid rule, the catch rule. It needs clearing up, because I think that rule is supposed to be for when you're catching it and diving into the end zone at the same time, not when you've caught it and leant over.
Yeah.
I think it's like you're too using the rule book, you know what I mean? You're being too litigious with the rule book. You're not using any common sense, which is why the catch rule is great, is to try and use common sense, but then people just go letter law rule book, and that's where you get the problems. Yeah,
I mean, for me, it's as simple as if you make a football move with the ball, and a football move to me isn't with your feet and doing this or that, it's has he got control of the ball? Yes. Is he stretching over the goal line? Yes. That means he's got control of the ball. If he can stretch that ball over the goal line. Now, if he was to punch it over the goal line, he's not caught it. Yeah. But he clearly catches the ball. Yeah, and by the rule of a catch in real life, he's caught the ball because it's in his hands. Yeah. And then he does that with his arms. That's absolutely sound. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, you will get more fumbles if the rule was changed to something like that. Don't think that's a problem. No. I think that's actually going to make the game more exciting. That's one of the reasons I think the catch rule is what it is right now, is because you stop all these fumbles because it just gets ruled as an incomplete catch. an incomplete pass, sorry. So for me, I'm not bothered if the ball goes out. Be smarter, catch the ball, and then don't. Belichick would say catch the ball, and if you're in doubt, hold it to your chest.
Yeah.
He would, because it's come out again. He's saying, I will ban anyone. I will not play them if they stretch out over the goal line. That's one of Belichick's things at the moment.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I mean, just the guy had plenty of time to catch it, control it, bring it in. You're on the 1 yard line. I mean, and then other than that, let's just say, so I just want to make this clear as well. That wasn't the end of the game. They had 3 more attempts to either kick a field goal or score a touchdown. They blew it. On that final third attempt, Big Ben Roethlisberger called the play, which was the fake spike, which no one knew what he was doing. Only one of his wide receivers moved, which was Eli Rogers, and he moved into triple coverage and Ben threw it anyway.
Yeah, that wasn't that wasn't him. He'd had something very late in his ear. He wanted to spike the ball and kick the field goal, Ben, right? Yeah. And this is where that comes about. And he's come out and he's had a go with the coaching staff after the game about this. So he wanted to spike the ball and they went, no, go for it. So he had to like shout, right, we're going for it. But not all of his team knew that that was the case. Hang on. So then, for me, that's Roethlisberger's mistake. Because he should have just fucking spiked the ball and taken control of that game. Because he doesn't need to throw that ball.
Yeah, but even then, he definitely goes for a fake spike. So
yeah, because that was the play.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying...
That was the play that they'd said.
I more think this Ben Roethlisberger trying to put blame on other people. That's my opinion on it, because I've seen him do it a lot of times before. But even still, when you go for the fake spike, it doesn't work. He still can throw that ball away. And
he should do. And this is where it comes down. It comes down to Roethlisberger, it really does. But I don't think for those the reasons that you think. I think he should go, nah, I'm the quarterback. I'm making the decision here. I'm sorry, coaching staff. But he's towed the party line, and he really shouldn't have towed the party line.
It's like this, though. I just want to put it. Do you remember the Super Bowl when the Patriots won, and like the play was under review, and some people were celebrating? You look at the Patriots players; they're all saying, "Get off the field. It's under review. Wait for this to be confirmed." And the point I'm making is, I think the Patriots way is you don't celebrate until it's over.
Well, that's bullshit because Gronkowski did that in that game. Because Brady goes up to Gronkowski and shouts, it's not fucking over yet.
But who's saying it? The quarterback, the leader of the team. I'm not saying all the players, I'm saying the quarterback, the leader of the team, is aware of the situation. Whereas I think Ben Roethlisberger got lost in the situation. That's what I'm saying. Maybe. Lost in the situation of he thought the game was over. And then they should have been, when that was under review, they should have been saying, let's just say it's not called a touchdown. What's our 2 plays that we're going to run? They should have had the plan then, when it was under review, on what they should do.
They lost that game for me, right, on the 4th and 1 and about 2 minutes 13 to go. Because they had it about the 30-yard line, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what you do, you've got to ask questions of yourself. You've got 1 yard to go. It's 4th and 1, admittedly. You could punt the ball. You pretty much know Brady's going 75, 80 yards in 2 minutes. That's a given. He's done it how many times over his career? What is it, 113? No, it's 50. Was it 50?
It's 51 now.
51 now, right. He's done it 51 times. Brady always manages to do it when the pressure is at its absolute highest. So what you're saying is, okay, I trust my defence. That's fine. But this is the greatest quarterback that's ever lived here, playing with Rob Gronkowski, who we haven't been able to stop. And what happens when the Patriots are in the shit, they'll just keep going to Gronkowski. They don't even worry about anybody else on the team. So what you could do is you could punt the ball, and then you're hoping in about the next 6 or 7 plays that you're able to stop Tom Brady. Or you go to your favourite play in your playbook and trust your offensive line and trust your offense to go 1 yard and end the game. And he kicked the punt.
I think that's also...
And that's where he lost the game.
You can also say this word, they missed Antonio Brown, because I think on that drive, there's going to be a 10-yard pass to Antonio Brown, and let's face it, no one can cover him. He's uncoverable, and I think that's where also we saw the gaps in the Steelers there when they're missing Brown, because they lean on him that much, which is because of how much they lean on him. I'm not that surprised he's got a big injury. I think Brown has been very lucky in his career to have so many snaps and so many catches, not to have a big injury. And no one wishes this, because I think Brown's the best wide receiver in the league, and I don't even think it's close. I think he's going very close to being the second best all time. But I think this is going to happen when you overuse players, and you're seeing that they missed them in that drive. And let's not forget, they almost got lucky in the fact that the Steelers had another drive. I mean, Juju Smith takes a play that should have been 10 yards,
Yeah.
69 yards, and you can just see Eric Rowe just falling down, and someone else fall. I think it was Richards.
Poor tackling, actually, which you don't see from the Patriots.
Patriots, again, they have no linebacking core, and then they drafted Jordan Richardson the second round a couple of years ago, and he's been a bit of a bust, to be honest with you. He's not very good. He's supposed to be the tackling safety. He's not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go. Let's park that one there, because that's been quite a big segment of the show so far on the Patriots Steelers. But I
thought that was the show.
Well, yeah. No, we'll come back to that in a few weeks' time when the Steelers beat you, and then we'll do an entire show on it if you want, mate. Okay. A surprise one for me. Chargers 13, Chiefs 30. Really didn't expect this one to go down like that. Chargers going into this game, form team in the NFL for me. Now they're 7-7 in the same division, obviously, as the Chiefs, who are 8-6. Blown this wide open, and Phil Rivers is the man who essentially busted on the day. I mean, 3 interceptions, one of them coming well into garbage time and stuff when they're too far back to do anything. But what did you make of this one?
Who's good anymore? Just who's good anymore? I don't know.
Vikings are pretty good.
They are, but we'll get onto that later. But just generally, like, we've been watching this Chargers team coming like a juggernaut, and you thought, who's going to stop them? And then they just imploded against the Chiefs, who I don't think are that good. Philip Rivers was abysmal, and the Chiefs' offense looks good again. And are they good now?
I think so.
Should we be worried about the Chiefs again? I don't know.
I mean, Alex Smith goes 23 for 30, 231 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt, 206 yards from scrimmage. I think it was 155 on the ground, and 51 that will be in the passing game or something like that. Absolutely mental. Tyreek Hill has another 65-yard touchdown run on just a simple go route. Yeah. I mean, it was just the Chiefs at their best again, and they needed to, and that's the sign of a good side, though, isn't it? When everything points to potentially a loss against the form team, they've stood up and been able to grind out a win.
Yeah, they weren't quite comfortable in the end. I mean, it was a very close game, I think, until the fourth quarter. But I can't make out. Well, just nothing makes sense to me anymore in the NFL. Just every time you think you know what's going on and you think you can see something, one of these results comes at you and it's going, well, Chiefs have looked good now for 2 weeks. Yeah. That's 2 good wins. They're now 2 games up on the Chargers in the division, I think. I think that's right.
8-6 or 7-7.
Yeah, but the tiebreakers, I think it works out 2 games. Anyway, it's not as if we could have researched this before I said it.
And Steve would have.
Yeah, Steve would.
But he's not here. We are.
Yeah, sorry, we're lazy. But yeah, I thought I'm going to take it 1.5 game or something ahead of them. I don't know how the Chargers catch that. And the Chargers now may not even make it into the playoffs because other teams won around them, except the Titans. But, you know, the space is only there for one of them. They might be the best team not to make the playoffs, and it might be just because of this implosion that we saw at Arrowhead.
What about Bosa and Ingram, mate? What did you think of them during the game?
You know, the Bosa and Ingram are very... Do you what I like to see? Did you see the Bosa and Houston thing at the end of the game?
Mm.
Houston was showing Bosa how, like, some pass rushing moves, and it was just like
really?
This weird, yeah, it was like this weird moment of respect where he was just like, I respect your game. Have you ever thought about doing this? Have you ever thought about doing this? And, like, it was really good, but then at the same time, if I was a Chiefs fan, I'd be like, don't fucking show him that. Don't show him how to sack like, Alex Smith.
Von Miller did it in the summer, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he got everyone together for like a special Von Miller day, and he got all the top guys in the league together. And basically, what Von Miller was talking about, I remember listening to the Peter King podcast, I think it was, and he was like, "These are my peers. You know what I mean? We want to improve. We want to make the game better. We want to just get better ourselves. So they're all helping each other out, and that's kind of probably where that's come from a little bit.
Yeah, it's. Do it in the off-season. I don't want to see that.
Not at the end of the game.
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
I don't want to see that. You just got blown out.
At the end of the season,
you know what I mean?
No, it's true.
If you can be friends in the off-season, but not now.
What about Hunt then? I mean, again, outstanding day once again. The offensive line was brilliant for him once again, but he is just such an explosive player, do you know?
Where's this Hunt been? Where's this Hunt been for the last 2 months of the season? Because this is the one we saw in September and October, and then we just haven't seen him since the middle of October. I think he took a lot more read option today, and he looked much better doing that than just being given it and saying run through the A gap, run through the B gap. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he just needs it simplified for him. Just give it if you see the space go. Maybe that's what's going to help him. But I don't know. I might need to look at this. Did Chiefs got some offensive linemen back or something who's just started to dominate
It's
again?
literally just, I think it's just the fact that Andy Reid's not calling the plays anymore, to be honest. It's been the 3rd week now, I think, when he's not been calling the plays.
That's the thing, isn't it? Andy Reid not calling the plays made a big difference to the Chiefs' offense. Why that is, I don't know, but clearly they're starting to have a vertical threat again. Which, when you have a vertical threat, that will open up the running game. Suddenly, when you got Tyreek Hill streaming down for a 65-yard touchdown, that pushes players backwards, does give you a gap. Whereas when they went all horizontal, you can just push the linebackers in the box and you can stop Kareem Hunt all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we'll move it on then. A massive surprise probably in Seattle. Rams 42, Seattle Seahawks 7. I mean, the Rams just looked dominant, didn't they? Dominant in every phase of the game. You know, special teams stood up as well. They were brilliant.
This has been a thing all season. The Rams got the best special teams in the league, and it's not even close. And that's when they say it's all 3 phases. There's not just 2 phases. There's not just 1 phase like Jeff Fisher thought. There's 3 phases, and that's when you adopt that philosophy, like Sean McVay has. Suddenly, look at what the Rams are. They went from being a mediocre 7-9 team to absolutely dominating what was a perennial good team, the Seahawks. I think we've almost saw a change in the guard.
Bullshit. I've heard this argument already, and I can understand why you would say that, but do not write off a Seahawks side that has had a Sherman injury, has had an Earl Thomas injury, has had a Cam Chancellor injury, has had a Bennett injury. Don't write them off yet.
I'm saying a lot of players getting older.
Of course,
I know those players getting older.
And that happens across the league. You know, that's a thing in life. People get older and stuff. But what I'm saying is, don't fucking write them off after one bad season where their entire team hasn't played together.
No, I just think the Rams are going to be the dominant force. I never said that they're not going to be a playoff contender. I just think the Rams are going to start owning this division because I think the Seahawks team's getting old, whereas the Rams have got a really young team. You know, Todd Gurley's what, 3rd year, and that will be 3rd year going to next year, 4th maybe. You know, you're going to have Goff, who's only going to be a 3rd year. You know, Sammy Watkins and that is only coming off his rookie contract now. It's a young nucleus, and then it's got Aaron Donald on the other side, who's the most dominant defensive player in the league right now. I mean, you can't stop him. I mean, Russell Wilson can't even run away from him. He's too fast, he's too big, he's too strong. He just annihilates defenders, and then you can't run away from him. There's a play where he busted out of the 2 on him, he got through, hit someone, and then run back and cut and hit. Was this close to tackling the guy who had the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. It was incredible. Aaron Donald's amazing. I don't know what you do with this team.
No, mate, they're in amazing form at the moment. Obviously, Goff throws for 2 touchdowns, 1 interception on the day. Todd Gurley was the man who made it all happen, to be fair. 21 attempts, 152 yards, 3 touchdowns in the running game, 3 attempts, 28 yards in the passing game, and 1 touchdown. And I've not spoken about it yet, so I'm going to get on this. I'm playing in a fancy footy ESPN league, right? It's 2-week semi-finals, into the semi-finals. Steve's in the other semi-final, dominated that one. So it would have been me and Steve in the final of this. 2 weeks, I'm up 35 points after the first week. It's an unassailable league, General. Unassailable. Except the team that I'm facing has Todd Gurley in, who racks up 42 points against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Now, all right, admittedly, Seattle have been gashed on the run a few times this season, not least last week as well. But 4 touchdowns given up to him, like 180-something yards, 42 points. Yeah. And do you know what? I lost 203.2 points, and I had 203.1 points. I lost by 0.1 of a point. Now, here's some of the reasons. Todd Gurley, 42 points. I had Antonio Brown. He would have got 15 to 20 points because he does every single game. That would have been sound. I had Stephen Gostkowski. He missed a fucking point after. That's a point. That's the 1 point I needed. Then you'd have the 2-point conversion that New England needs, so he doesn't get to kick that either. 1 fucking yard. I needed one of my players to get 1 fucking yard extra to draw the game. After a 2-week season long, I had high hopes for this team. Me and this team had been on a journey. I was thinking about the narrative of getting to the Super Bowl and playing Steve in the final. I lost by 0.1 of a fucking point on a 2-week fantasy football match. It's ridiculous. I'm so angry. I'm so angry with Todd Gurley. I'm so angry with the Seattle Seahawks. You're all bellends, every single one of you.
My team didn't even make the playoffs. They were terrible, and I took a load of rookies who got injured. And it was, you know,
that's the other thing. I had Fournette. Yeah, I had to bench him, didn't I? Because he was out. I had Adrian Peterson up until 2 weeks ago, who's on IR now. So I had decided to win that fucking whole thing, and I'm so gutted because I'm not sure I can do it again. I'm going to have to step back, rest, recuperate, come back next season stronger. I'm so fucking furious. Like, I felt like I lost a kid. This team, that's how fucking important this team were to me. I felt like someone died, you know. Fuming, mate. Fuming.
It's okay, you can have a funeral for them later.
Back to the Seahawks and the Rams. Offensively, what the fuck happened to the Seahawks?
They still can't run the ball well enough. I mean, this is the thing, why the Seahawks aren't the dominant team that they were 2012, 2014. Marshawn Lynch hasn't walked back through the door.
Yeah.
They still haven't found a real running game. I mean, they get bits from pieces in the air, but there hasn't been one player who sat there and just went, I'm going to be the running back. I'm going to open things up for Russell Wilson. It all relies on Russell Wilson chunk plays. And when Aaron Donald's chasing you down, you don't want to be relying on that because you just run after Russell Wilson, you don't have to worry about the run, and that's why the offense was fell to pieces. And then the defense couldn't stop the run because they got those injuries you mentioned. You know, even Wagner, who played with had the hamstring issue, so he's slower going side to side, so that just opens up more and more gaps. I mean, apparently Earl Thomas said something about Wagner shouldn't have played, and then Wagner was saying, shut up, Earl Thomas, and it was like a Twitter thing, but then all the tweets got deleted, and like, no, you know, very quickly.
But they have got some issues. I mean, I was saying before, like, don't write them off at your peril because I truly believe it, but they have got some major issues at that football side at the moment, like.
Yeah, and Pete Carroll just looks constantly confused now. Just looks constantly confused.
It's how long you can manage these egos for, isn't it? You know, I love the fact that they get snappy and hate it when they lose. I think that's brilliant. I think that's part of what made them so good over the last sort of 5 years and stuff. But it must be an incredibly difficult job to manage those guys. But that's how they built the side. They built the side on those egos and those players who had been shit everywhere else.
Well, it's like this, you can't pay everybody, and when you try, what happens is you have no strength in depth. I think they've lost a lot of that strength in depth that they used to have, because that's what happens when you start giving everyone big contracts. That's why you see teams like the Patriots release big players, like Jamie Collins go do that. Chandler Jones, who's actually having an amazing season right now, and I wish he was back. I just want him back, but you know, that's what happens.
They do that because it's for the team.
Because they know depth's more important than stars. Depth, because you're going to get injuries and you can't rely on stars in the American Football League.
Okay. Should the rest of the NFL be fearing Jared Goff, Todd Gurley and the rest of those LA Rams?
Yes, I think they should. I mean,
a result in Seattle counts for a lot.
Yeah, I think
even this season.
What they went to is they went to like a playoff atmosphere and they've wiped out the team. And they wiped them out quite comfortably. Mainly with, you know, the kick return that set up their, you know, the 1 yard touchdown. But you need to worry that, and you've got to look at the NFC Championship could well be Case Keenum versus Nick Foles. Is Jared Goff worse than any of them two? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, Case Keenum's playing incredible right now, so we don't know, but I'm just saying. As a QB, that's who you're trying to look at. Does this team have a QB who can scare you? And when you're looking at the NFC, most of their top QBs have gone down. Yeah. So Jared Goff is as scary as anyone left.
Okay, there we go then. We'll move on then to the final game. It's the Eagles-Giants. I picked the Eagles because me and Steve last week did quite a little bit about the Eagles, and I'd thought that potentially the Eagles were going to be okay, because I thought they could schematically get Foles into positions where he can show how good he can be. Listen, I'm not saying he's a good quarterback by any stretch of the imagination, but I remember back to that first Chip Kelly year where everything was just schemed for him to be good, and I felt like Carson Wentz this season has been put in a position where he is able to make those zone reads and stuff and make himself look good. They're putting the quarterback in good situations. I thought that's good coaching, and I felt they did the same with Nick Foles at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite happy to see that they didn't just all right, we're going to be run heavy now, we're going to put on the Garrett Blunt and JHI to win the game. No, they kept the same system. They just went Nick Foles, sling it round. Sling it round as if you're Carson Wentz. You may not be Carson Wentz, but they didn't put the what are those things that you put on the bike so kids can ride them?
Stabilisers, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't put the stabilisers on. They let Nick Foles throw it about. They went, well, we got Alshon Jeffrey, we've got up on the hall. We got these players there up on the hall.
Aguilar.
Yeah, I've banned the whole like weird Aston Villa reference.
That is a weird Aston Villa reference.
Yeah, Aguilar, we've got these wide receivers who can make plays. Let's trust in them and let's keep our system the same and try and limit the amount of changes we make to our team. Because this is not the time to drastically overhaul what your team is.
Well, you can't change the identity aside. And interesting little tidbit of information here. Nick Foles throws 4 touchdown passes. Last week, Carson Wentz threw 4 touchdown passes. That's Eagles are now the first team since 2011 Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers and Matt Flynn to have different starting quarterbacks throw at least 4 touchdown passes in back-to-back weeks. It's also the first time in franchise history that different Eagles starting quarterbacks have accomplished the feat in consecutive weeks. Amazingly. I like Nick Foles, yeah, he goes 24 for 38, but he looked good. What surprised me about Nick Foles is he really sells the run really well. Like he's very good at play action in that regard, and yeah, I like him. I think he'll be all right.
He looks, again, I've just said it could be him versus Case Keenum in the NFC Championship game. 2 people who would believe were Rams washouts. Did Nick Foles ever spelt the Rams?
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you.
I'm sure because didn't the Eagles release him for a bit?
Don't know.
To the Rams.
Can't remember.
Well, let's just say he did, because the Rams were abysmal at that time and they could have had anyone. And would you really know if it was Nick Foles or Sean Mannion or Case Keenum? Who knows?
They did spread it around a lot. I mean, Aguilar, Ertz, Jeffrey, 7 receptions, 6 receptions, 4 receptions. Even the running game, quite interesting that, you know, they got 4 runners there. Ajayi, 49 yards, Blunt, 21 yards, Barner, 21 yards, and Clemens, 17 yards. Interesting to see them spread it round in the passing game and spread it round in the run game as well.
Yeah, you choose who's the best person for the situation, who's the best person to run this scheme. I think they're using Ajayi more the home run hitter, so his runs are usually to the outside. Blunt is, you know, you're up your middle, let's just see what you can get. And then you have the other guys who they bring in for third downs and stuff, and then you see how that goes. So if you can get 100 yards in the run game, that's pretty much what you want to do. The hit and that, and then it opens everything up in the pass game. As you just said, Nick Foles sells the run really well. And they still look a good team on offense, but I think the defense in this game was poor. I think the defense was really bad. I mean, they looked like, made Eli Manning look like Peyton Manning. Yeah,
Eli went for 434 yards in this game, and I would say 436 of them were on, no, 432 of them were on slant routes. Yeah. I mean, the Eagles got absolutely roasted on the slant route, and you're thinking to yourself, this could be a problem moving forwards for them, because everyone will have been watching that game. You'll have the tape of that game when you plan whoever's playing the Eagles next. Just do that, because they couldn't stop it. And if Eli Manning could do it with Shepard, Ingram, Lewis, King, Gorman, I mean, listen to this. Shepard, 11 receptions, 139 yards, 1 touchdown. Ingram, 8 receptions, 87 yards. Lewis, 4 receptions, 74 yards. King, 2 receptions, 70 yards. Gorman, 6 receptions, 40 yards. Vereen, 5 receptions, 15 yards. I mean, that's loads of yardage, and they've spread it around. There are about 6 guys there.
Yeah, Jordan did tell me, right, is that when the Giants make their decision on what they're going to do next season, which should be get a good quarterback and get rid of Eli, I'm very big on that, they've got to have weapons. I mean, if they get OBJ to sign a new contract, you know, OBJ and Shepard and Ingram, that's a solid wide receiving, you know, triplet, like, you know what I mean? That is good enough to really start dominating the league. That's actually a scary proposition. And then you only have to fix the defense and fix the quarterback and get a running game. Which, you know, this all sounds much easier than it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's very easy, isn't it? I mean, Ingram, the tight end, he goes for a run in this game as well. He has a run. They hand the ball off to him, like, and you're like, what, go ahead. Yeah, have a little bit of that.
There's definitely weapons on this Giants team. It's not all terrible. But I still think they're going to be stick with Eli. I think that's going to be a problem.
He did. His passing looked all right. I mean, we all know his arm's not there. Like, it's a Manning trait, that, isn't it? Yeah. It just drops off massively, I think. But some nice touch throws in there, some very accurate throws. Really impressed with both quarterbacks in this game.
Yeah. I mean, Eli played well, but I think Giants can't get stuck on one game. Giants need to think about how the whole season went, because it's all about what they're going to do next year.
Yeah.
They don't need to. Where's the Eagles? It's about the now. The Giants have finished. They sacked the coach. They know what this is. They need to think what's the best for their team for the next 10 years. And I think that's moving on from Eli next year when you got the high draft pick to pick whoever's the quarterback you think is the next one.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, well, we'll move on to the spin around the league. Wow, only one more week of the spin around the league. I'm sad now, Joe. Oh well, we'll move on. No, 16 next week.
Yeah, the 17th.
Oh shit.
Everyone has a bye week.
Sorry, yeah. Okay. No, I'm happy now, we get to okay. We go with the Jets 19, Saints 31. It was closer in scoreline than I thought it was going to be. Michael Thomas, though, absolutely sensational. 9 catches, 93 yards, touchdown. Thomas had 92 catches as a rookie last season, as a career high 94 receptions this year. He joins Odell Beckham Jr. as the only player in NFL history to record at least 90 receptions in each of their first 2 seasons. Wow.
Wow.
That's some good company to be in, isn't it? He's brilliant.
It is. I mean, he's why they were happy to let Cooks go, which I'm happy about because now I've got him. But the Saints are the better team in this game. Thomas is brilliant and Kamara came back and looked good as well. The Saints are one of those, when you're talking about the, as I mentioned, the quarterbacks before, the Saints have probably got the best QB left in the NFC. So that should scare anyone. And if their defense stays healthy, I mean, they could be the surprise pick to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I mean, nobody's wanting to play Drew Brees. I mean, there's a few quarterbacks left in this playoff picture now. Drew Brees, as you say, in the NFC is absolutely the top guy, the top dog. No one would want to play the Saints. A little bit, I don't know whether it's a surprising result or not for me, because I really couldn't decide on who was going to win this game. I ended up picking the Cardinals, therefore the Redskins won it. Cardinals 15 points, Redskins 20. What did you make of this one, Journal?
I mean, Redskins won, but who's asked? I mean, who's asked? Only going to make the playoffs. Blaine Gabbert was terrible. Who cares?
Scathing. Okay, well we'll talk a little bit about my Vikings then. Bengals 7, Vikings 34. We're boss. We played a shit team.
Yeah.
We absolutely dominated the shit side to the point where normally first thing I do on a Sunday evening is just sit down and watch the Vikings game. So once the kids gone to bed, you're looking at 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that. Then I go downstairs. Kat goes upstairs. My wife, she puts on fucking whatever. I put the American footy on and I get the Vikings, and I've completely ignored Twitter and I've ignored Facebook, so I watch them as live every single time. And I was very conscious that about 9:30, 9:45, we were, I think it was maybe 23, 24 to nothing, something like that, and I was like, I don't normally do this, but this Steelers-Patriots game is about to start, and that's a really big game, and I really want to watch that as live. So I watched I switched it off for the first time this season, because it was done as a contest. It was over, like, and I picked it up after the Patriots-Steelers about midnight, and I'd known the final score by that point, so I didn't get to watch it as live all the way through, but I enjoyed the Patriots-Steelers game, because that was a brilliant game anyway. Great to see Teddy Bridgewater back, making his 2 throws, 1 interception. But other than that, like, we dominated, and I thought we were going to dominate the Bengals because they're pretty shit, you know.
Yeah, I got attacked on Twitter by like the Bengals fans because I put on a Cover 2 TV thing. You know, Marvin Lewis was leaving and they could make a better GM than head coach. So then Bengals UK tweeted me saying he won Coach of the Year once. He made 7 playoffs appearances and 4 AFC North titles, and he's a very good man. So then I answered on my Twitter and I was like, mate, that's less than half of his seasons he's made the playoffs. He's averaging the AFC North once every 4 years in a team with 4 teams, and one of them's the Browns. And with no playoff wins, that means that on your best day, you were somewhere between the 9th and 12th best team in the league.
Yeah.
That is garbage. He was a garbage head coach. I know the Bengals were one of the worst franchises in the league before he got there. He made them mediocre. Congratulations, have a cookie.
Well done. You are the Tony Pulis of the NFL, Marvin Lewis. And now it's time to move on and bring in Mark Hughes, whoever that Mark Hughes is. Jason Garrett.
Jim Caldwell.
Yeah, actually Caldwell. Yeah, I like Caldwell. Dolphins 16, Bills 24. Game didn't really matter either. Bills have won the game.
Well,
sounds.
Sadly, it does matter because the Bills are going to lacklusterly get into the playoffs. And, I mean, they're going to get blown out by whatever good team they face. I've got no one fears the Bills at all. But I want them to die. I want them to be over with. They do me head in. They're so boring to watch.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, well, a really great result from the weekend just gone is obviously up next, and this is probably the reason Steve's not here, to be fair. Obviously, the Vikings locked up the North title, and that's in part because the Packers failed to beat the Panthers. It was 24-31. Cam Newton was sensational in this one.
Yeah, Cam Newton played really well. I think the main talking point in this game is you brought Rodgers back, you took a chance, he threw 3 interceptions, he underthrew his receiver 3 times. Sit him.
Yeah.
Do not try and play him. That was it. That was your one chance. Sit him. Do not let him get injured again, because that's what happened with Tony Romo, and that's how he broke his collarbone again. So you should then just wrap him in cotton wool and say he's not allowed to throw, and just see what Brett Hundley's.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know what fucking just.
Or try your third-string quarterback, because Brett Hundley's terrible. So.
Just fucking honestly nosedive, get as good a pick as you possibly can, because that side will be sound next season.
Yeah.
The Packers will be right up there fighting for the North title once a game, because they've got Aaron Rodgers, and the better pick they can get, sounds. A
mediocre team with a great quarterback is a great team. Yeah. That's how it works. And, you know, just make sure that he's still a great quarterback come next season. Do not risk injuries. And then, obviously, you know, the Panthers are looking good in the playoffs. You know, they're another team that I fear them as the Patriots, because Cam Newton would destroy the Patriots defence, like we already saw earlier in the season.
Well, he's already rushed for 643 yards this season. I mean, he threw 4 touchdowns in the game against the Packers. I mean, that's the type of performance that get you through games, that win games, and Cam seems to be hitting form at the right part of this season. You just got to keep him in the pocket.
Did you see the little video of him going, oh, you've seen the film, haven't you?
Yeah.
Watch this, and then throws it was so brilliant.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, if you've not seen it, explain it fully, please.
Yeah, just Cam Newton, I think it's to Clay Matthews just calling that with the players, and Cam Newton's going, oh, you've seen the film? All right, watch this, and does something completely different. It's so good. It's so cocky. It's like, I don't like Cam Newton in person. I think I hate him. I think he's a massive cunt. But I love him on the field, that arrogance, that cockiness, just go. Just
I hate that on the field, but I love to see that as well at the same time. Like, I'd hate him to be a teammate or opposition player, but there's something to be said for backing yourself and going out there and just embarrassing Clay Matthews, an overrated linebacker as he is, and has been for most of his career, to be fair. Like. Sorry, Steve. Okay, so we're here now talking about the Ravens, Browns. Oh, look, the Browns lost another game of the football. And this one, they didn't even get close to winning the game like they did against the Packers the other week. They just didn't have a chance in this game. The Ravens are probably going to get into the playoffs as well.
Yeah. The Ravens' offense has looked good for the last 3 weeks. Does that mean it's good now? I don't know.
No, because quarterback.
But he's played well in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to refer you to my original point of Flacco.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's played well for Joe Flacco. Let's not say he's played. You need the controls of he's played Flacco-esque football the last 3 weeks. Whereas before then, he was worse than the Joe Flacco standard.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go on. The Texans got absolutely obliterated by the Jaguars, 45-7.
What you do? You're on to what, your third, fourth string quarterback? I mean...
9th, I think.
Yeah. I mean, their season was done a long time ago. The Jaguars are a really good team. I think people need to stop sleeping on the Jaguars. I mean, I think they proved... We all laughed at Steve when he was saying earlier in the season, making predictions about the Jaguars being good, and we were just going, Blake Bortles. He threw for 3 touchdowns.
The annoying thing was Steve was saying, I know Blake Bortles is shit, but they're still good. And he was right.
Yeah. Twat.
Anyway, well, we'll move it on then, because we get to talk about the Bears and the Lions. Or do we? Should we miss this one out?
Well, right, the Lions are probably going to go 10-6 and miss the playoffs because they're too soft. That's what's going to happen.
And what about the Bears?
Who cares? Let's get a coach in who thinks that offense is a thing.
Yeah.
We just saw that work really well at the Rams, that when you go and get a coach in who believes in offense, defense and special teams, tends to have success.
It's a thing in the NFL, I believe. Yeah, I like that.
Let's get rid
do
of
that. Let's do it. Let's get rid of him. Okay, so he's the Sam Allardyce, is he? Or the David Moyes?
Ooh.
Let's go Sam. No. He's Pulis as well. No.
I think Jeff Fisher's Sam. I think Jeff Fisher's very Sam Allardycean.
Okay, we'll go Jeff Fisher as Sam Allardyce, and in that case, John Fox can be Sammy Lee. Okay, Broncos 25, Colts 13. I think I was shocked at this result. I think I was, because I think I picked the Colts. How did you do in the pick'em?
I got 2 wrong. I got Seahawks wrong, which, you know, that was such a brilliant pick. And another one wrong, which I don't think matters. I got there.
Are you closing in on me?
No, because you only got 2 wrong as well. You got the same.
I know, I picked the Rams to win.
Yeah, you know, but you picked this one wrong and I got this one right. I think the other game we both got wrong.
Yeah, so Broncos beat the Colts 25-13. Let's talk about the Titans 49ers then. Jimmy G. Wow.
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G. I mean, you've been a fan for ages. Steve's a fan because he looks good.
Yeah, I've been telling you, Jimmy G's everything I look for in a quarterback. Quick release, accuracy, has a bit of movement in the pocket, bit of athleticism, doesn't just tuck the ball and run, moves round to throw, accuracy. I mean, that we've been talking about that 49 teams having no weapons. He's making Goodwin look like he's Jerry Rice. Jimmy G's brilliant. The Patriots knew how good he was. That's why it took that long for them to finally loosen the grip on him. Because, I mean, you're a 49ers fan, you're Sam, mate.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Jimmy G is playing to Shanahan's strengths as well. I mean, Shanahan's opened up the playbook since he's come in there, only in the 3rd week, is it something like that now? So he's now 5-0 in his career, and he's still got 2 Super Bowl rings, by the way. So he's sound, is old Jimmy G. But Kyle Shanahan is starting to look like that great offensive mind that we all knew he was, but was struggling to show earlier on in the season when you don't have a decent quarterback to be able to enact your game plan. Going into next season, they're going to be... Okay, not next season, but I think they've got their quarterback and head coach now for probably the next 8 years.
There's also,
at least 5.
Yeah, there's rumours that wide receivers have been texting people going, so what's it like to live in the Bay Area? I'd like to go and give myself some of that Jimmy G love. Because they're all looking at it going, this is the team you want to play for if you're a wide receiver. You're an offensive-minded coach, excellent play caller, and a quarterback is going to get you the ball. That's how you get paid as a wide
that is
receiver.
absolutely how you get paid. And the 49ers have gone and done something this season that I think they'll be reaping the benefits of for the next 5 to 10 years because Jimmy G's legit.
Imagine that, Browns. Imagine going to get a quarterback when you need one. That's just passing in every single one that comes available.
Yeah, Browns. You guys. Okay, so the Cowboys beat the Raiders to end the Raiders' playoff dreams for this season. How did it end, Jeno?
With a plate, with the folded up piece of paper looking at the thing. Did you see that? But outside of that, I never really thought the Raiders were a playoff team. I mean, I know this might end them officially, but they were never there.
And this is the game with the touch back through the end zone as well, isn't it? I think, if I'm right in saying. Yeah. So I think, first of all, that rule exists.
We've seen that rule multiple times this season. It wasn't just used in one game for the Patriots to win like everyone seems to believe at the time.
Oh my God, you're so bitter, Jeno.
I am.
Get over it.
Because Joe, all I see, right, and that goes to Patriots' favour. It's like, oh, the league's there to make the Patriots
I backed you up on the first point. I backed you up that it wasn't a catch. And you're still just so bitter.
Because 99%
just let it go, let it wash over you.
No, I'm not like that.
Woosha. That's what you got to do. Just woosha it, man.
But yeah, it's the stupid rule that we've all been talking about. The fact that it's a touchback when it goes out the end zone. No one understands why that is. I've heard different rules, like maybe they should get the ball back 20 yards out or something like that, but it has to be the same down. I don't know. They need to look into it. They need to have a look at why this rule just makes zero sense to anyone. Yeah,
okay. And finally, last game for the week 15 NFL review show. AKA overtime. Falcons 24, Buccaneers 21. I didn't see this game, so you're going to have to help us out with this one.
The Falcons survived it. They survived it. They won a tough divisional game, which you shouldn't really be having tough divisional games against the Bucs because they've been terrible and they had no Gerald McCoy. James's mechanics looked a bit better than what they've looked, which, you know, James got a lot of passing yards. He's got more than any player of his age ever, I think. But there's still problems with that team. I think the Bucs are fundamentally flawed. I think they need to get a new head coach as well because Derek Carter is not impressed at all. And I think there's pieces on the Bucs. I think the Falcons, they've got 2 weeks now to see whether they're a playoff team or not. It's in their hands as in, I think they're playing the Panthers and the Saints. Mm-hmm. Or they're playing the Saints and the Bucs again. They're playing 2 teams.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the preview show.
Yeah, they're playing divisional opponents, so they have a chance to make sure they get that playoffs. And then it will be 3 teams from the NFC South, which would mean my prediction's true, that I said that at the start of the season and you all laughed at me. One of them was the Buckstar said though, so you know, swings and roundabouts.
It's true. Okay, well there we go. That's been the Overtime Show. That's been week 15 of the NFL. I've been Chris Pajak. That's been Tom Jennings. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. We do appreciate every single comment and every single like. If you've enjoyed the video, please do share it with your friends. Not my words. Someone who commented a couple of weeks ago, a criminally undersubscribed channel. That's what we said. So thank you very much for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you could share it far and wide to your NFL watching friends, we'd really, really appreciate it. Cheers. Ta-ra.